Let's get it. Welcome to episode 8 of the Ellis Highlight Reel podcast. This is your host, Brandon Ellis, as always. We got a loaded episode this week. It's a little later in the day. So let's get it started. First things first, I want to shout out Corey Rothgeb on his win at Talladega last week in the Pro Series PlayStation NASCAR Heat 4 league. Great win for him, his first win in his career. It's a lot of good stuff from him. He's worked so hard. He's been the most consistent driver when it comes to placing. So now finally get in the winner's circle for him. It's a good feeling for him. So congrats again, Corey. Hopefully I can get you on the pod sometime. We're working out the details with Penske, obviously. It's a professional league. I've handled interviews before. I know how it goes with SIDs and everything like that. So I get it. So it might be tough for me to get the interview, but hopefully I get the interview. So shout outs again to Mr. Corey Rothgeb. Second topic of the day, the NBA is officially back. Like I said last week, it had to get approved by the players first. But now it's officially back. The NBA is back. The dates for the NBA season are following. So let me get. Phone went on. Did sleep on me. All right. So training camp for the new season is for 2 days, or 3 days technically, July 9th through the 11th. The season will start in Orlando, July 31st. Like I said last week, July 31st. To October the 12th. That'll be the whole season. If the October 12th will be Game 7 of the finals. So think about it like that. So it will end around October the 12th. Then you have the draft lottery on the 25th of August. So during the season you'll have the draft lottery like normal, like the normal playoff. The draft will be the 15th. So 3 days after Game 7, you have your draft. Free agency is October 18th. But as Woj reported 6 days ago, that is a tentative loose date. Sources tell Woj. So it's a loose date for the free agency. So we'll see what happens with that. The 2021 training camp, the 2021 season's training camp will start November the 10th. And then the season will start the 1st of December. That's the target NBA schedule as of right now. Now, it's a target schedule because we don't know if COVID will come back in October. We don't know what will happen in October when it comes to, if it will come back, if people will get sick again. But we'll see. I'm glad the season's back. The only team that didn't approve of the plan was the Blazers, which I think is interesting, but at the same time, I'm like, you have one of the best opportunities to get the 8th seed in this format, and you don't think it's a good format like that? I don't get that at all. But I guess they wanted a little bit more innovative and more competitive, I guess. But them's the breaks. We got the season. 29 out of the 30 approved it, so it's like Blazers are the only ones. I don't know what they were thinking. But we got NBA basketball, so that's coming back. But the tidbit that I found out was Silver wants the 2021 season to go 82 again, and they wanted to end around a similar time frame, right? Like June, July, right? So they want to go from December to June, July, play 82, then play the playoffs. And then the Olympics is pushed back to 2021 too. So the players that get selected for the Olympic team are probably going to sit out the Olympics if they have to play, 80 to 82 games, and then they're on playoff teams and they want to win for the championship, and now they're not going to play for the Olympics. So it's going to hurt the Olympic team. Not only that, you're going to have more load management, which you already had, even though you had less back-to-backs this year. Now you're going to have more back-to-backs and all of this. It's crazy. It's a crazy schedule. The NBA will handle it somehow. Silver has always been the standard bearer for commissioners in all sports so far in his tenure as the NBA commissioner. He's been better than Goodell. He's been better than Maynard, I think his name is. In MLB, he's been better than the NHL commissioner as well. When it comes to these things, he's been on top of it. So Adam Silver knows what he's doing. But I just don't think this is the right way to look at it. I get you want the 82 game season. I would say just play, maybe 75, 80, 65, 70. I would say just do that for next season and then get back to 82. And then in the 21-22 season. That's what I think. But, it's the NBA wants to make the money too. So, but yeah, I think that's a good place to leave that conversation. Let me know below what your thoughts are on all the NBA being back and everything like that. What do you think about the Disney World complex, and where you think that's a good place for them to play? Do you think there could have been another place for them to play as well? Let me know down below. Next, I want to get into the MLS is returning as well. They just announced, I think it was today, they had just announced their plans for coming back. I'm going to pull it up real quick. There it is. So, the MLS will return July 8th. July the 8th, so before the NBA training camps. They'll have an MLS is back tournament with all the teams, basically. So that's what they're going to do with their season in the count of COVID. I like that plan. That's good for them. Good for all the teams are going to be in it. Unlike the NBA's plan, but I get why the NBA's plan. Their season was almost done anyway. We still don't have anything on MLB that's concrete yet. They had an offer that was like 75 games and half salaries again. The players want their full appropriated salaries they agreed on in March. That's where it's hitting right now. So we'll see what happens. Jeff Passan will let us know what's going on with that. So we'll see what happens down the road of MLB. But the later they go, we might not have a season, and then we might hit a labor strike because of the CBA. So we'll see. Time's ticking. Hopefully the owners and the players can agree to something and get at least some resemblance of a season. Now let's talk about some NFL stuff. Carson Wentz had Jalen Reagor, Arcega-Whiteside. I'm trying to think who else he had. He had a couple more players down in Houston to work out with. To work out with each other. He had the chemistry going, which is a good thing. He needs to work out with those receivers. Because D-Jax, you're going to have the chemistry. Oh, he also had Marquise Goodwin down there too. So, basically all the new receivers and JJ. Deshaun's going to have good chemistry. Alshon's going to have good chemistry with him. The tight ends are obviously going to have good chemistry with him too. When everything comes back. The NFL also said that coaches can return to the team facilities this week as well and run their operations there. But the Eagles are running theirs virtually still, which is a good thing for them because they felt like the virtual programs have worked so far. So that's why they're doing it. You saw Mike Tomlin back in the Steelers with the mask and everything like that. That was the picture that was circulating last week. It's a good thing. It's a good thing for the NFL. They're on track. Hopefully they can get started on time and we have football on time. I don't know if we'll have fans in the buildings or not, in the arenas, in stadiums. It'd be interesting that they won't in the first seasons of the SoFi Stadium and the one in Vegas. I can't remember the name of the one in Vegas off the top of my head right now. When those are opening, right, those new stadiums are opening, that we won't have any fans in said stadiums. It'd be interesting. Obviously, the Cowboys open up SoFi in week 1 against the Rams, and then I think week 2 is both the Chargers and Raiders' first home games. I think that's how it is. I might be wrong on that, but I know week 1 is the first game in SoFi for Dallas and LA on Sunday Night Football. So obviously, hopefully, we'll get football. We have fans in stadiums, and obviously no international stuff this year, which is a good thing. I liked how the schedule was, like I mentioned in an earlier episode, how the schedule will work and everything like that. I like the anchor's disease of it as well. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens with the NFL season. But I'm looking forward to it. We're getting close to that time of training camp and everything like that. And also, September might be an interesting month, too, now when you think about it, because you have the NBA going full swing and the NFL going in full swing, and you might have MLB going in full swing. Like, if the potential of all 4 sports going at around the same time is interesting. It is interesting. Let me say that with a grain of salt, though. We might not have all 4. We might have just the 2. We'll see. But we know the NBA is back. We know the NFL is on track to play. So we'll see what happens. Now, on to the list for this week. Top 5 NBA duos right now. So duos meaning your Batman and Robin type duos. Your Ratchet and Clank type duos. Any other rap duos you can think of off the top of your head. That's basically what I mean by a duo. So, for example, LeBron AD. They're going to be number 1 on my list. I'm spoiling that right now. They're probably the best duo right now in the league is LeBron and Anthony Davis. But my number 5 duo in the league right now might shock some people. It's a duo not many people think about. It's a duo that is a little lesser known, but the one player is the reigning MVP. Giannis and Chris Middleton in Milwaukee. That's my number 5 duo. Chris Middleton has evolved his game since he got into the NBA. He's a consistent all-star in the East now. 18, 19 points a game. That's good for a Robin. And then you obviously got Giannis you got Giannis. You know. I normally can say his name, but it's, fast paced. You know how podcasts work. But anyway, Giannis Antetokounmpo. There it is. You got Giannis, who is a beast. He's been beasting and balling, the last few years. Ever since Mike Budenholzer has gotten into Milwaukee, he's changed Giannis' game a lot. He's bringing the ball up more. Giannis has evolved his jumper a little bit too. So that's my number 5 duo. Number 4, McCollum Lillard. That duo is filthy. Filthy backcourt. We've seen it for years. They made the Western Conference Finals last year when no one thought they would have. It's just filthy. Lillard can pull up from 40. McCollum can also pull up from like 30 to 35, 20, 25, 30, on a consistent basis. Like, you got 2 scorers on that. They should be the favorite to get the 8th seed in the West in this new format. So we'll see what happens with them. My number 3 duo, when they're healthy, when both players are there, Steph and Klay are still one of the best backcourt duos in the league. Steph Curry and Klay Thompson. That's my number 3. Now it's wait and see game with Klay and his ACL, how that goes and everything like that. And Curry, it's Curry. Curry's still Curry. So that's why they're my number 3. Number 2 for me, it's a tough call. There's a lot of great duos right now in the league. Obviously, LeBron AD are number 1 for me, but Kawhi and Paul George are my number 2 duo. And it was close hitters with LeBron and AD. But obviously, LeBron and AD are number 1. They hit based on they're the 2 top 5 players in the league. LeBron's arguably the best player in the world still. Anthony Davis has evolved his game that's why they're number one. But Kawhi and Paul George, the two best wing defenders in the league. If you don't think they're the two best wing defenders in the league, you're not watching the same basketball I am. They're the number 1 and 2. I think they're 1 and 2. Paul George is at least top 5 best wing defender in the league right now. Obviously, Kawhi is the best wing defender, one of the best wing defenders ever in the league. Also, Kawhi can score in his clutch, as you saw last year in Toronto. So there's that. And then Paul George, if he can get back to like the Indiana Paul George somehow, the Clippers are dangerous. So we'll see what happens with them down the road. But like I said, they're the best wing defender 1-2 punch out there in the league. So that's the list for this week. I just want to say also too, like I said earlier in the episode, hopefully I can get the logistics with the interview with Corey as well. If this interview goes well, I will definitely have more interviews scheduled in the future as well. Some stories that I want to talk to people about and everything like that. That I know, people that I know that I can simply reach and talk to and see if they want to get on the podcast. I just have to see if this one goes first. And it's a great topic. It's a recent topic. That's why I'm interviewing him first. I know the NASCAR has had issues in the past and everything like that. They stepped in the right direction with the Confederate flag thing today. They banned all Confederate flags at stadiums. It's a step in the right direction. Granted, most NASCAR fans are going to be upset about that, but still, that's what it is. It's the world we live in. You gotta grow with it. You can't stay in the past. The past is the past. We gotta move on with the present. That's all I'm gonna say on that. And I want to say this is another great episode for y'all as well. I hope y'all enjoyed the episode like always. Leave a like, comment down below, subscribe if you're new. As always, this is Brandon Ellis, your host of the Ellis Highlight Reel podcast. See y'all next week. Peace out.